tuning in. Justin, hey, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's funny that we started this off with communion because when I was going to talk about my testimony, that's actually where I was going to start.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the way here, I grew up Church of Christ, and it was a very traditional Church of Christ church. When you had to be baptized to take communion.
Yes.
Then. So as a 12-year-old kid and sitting through service, yeah, you get hungry. Who doesn't get hungry in church? So my reasoning for wanting to get baptized was truly just to take communion. I really didn't. It's not that the church didn't do a good job of talking about God and talking about God on the surface. But I got baptized for the wrong reasons, as a young kid. Not to blame anybody or put fault on anybody at that time, but my reasoning for getting baptized was just solely to take communion, just because I wanted to be a part of that as a kid. And, but, never really understanding what the true meaning is, what the purpose was.
Okay.
So, I wanted to, because I longed as a young man to be a part of something. I ended up joining the military as soon as I got into school, and with that, I went overseas. I served overseas in the Navy, and I was a bit lost, So I began to hang out with people, and then I began to question who I was, where did I come from, all the typical things that an 18 or 19-year-old did. I actually, at one point in time, kind of denounced God and said, hey, this being doesn't exist. He's not for me. I've never really experienced him, that sort of thing. And, I met a woman in the military. We ended up getting married in the military. She was kind of alive the same way. With growing up in church, in the foundation that I had, it was more or less like there's this being God, but he's more like this mythical God, like a Zeus, that he's there, but where does he fall in line with me? He's kind of a distant God that, we show up to church and we do these things, but there's no relationship. So I never felt the connection there. So got married, we had a beautiful son. And this is where my true testimony kind of begins.